Day 16 of the journey to pro MMA and bodybuilding. Today is push day, and I'm very excited because I don't have work today. I was able to take a slightly slower morning. I got a little more sleep last night than I usually get throughout the week. I got to have some good protein oatmeal and some good peanut butter toast on some keto bread. So I've got some good carbs in me, pre-workouts in me. That's some good stuff. I'm not really feeling the tingle today as much as I usually do, but that's fine. Great weather. I love that it's nice and it's a little chillier. It could be colder. I hope it gets colder, but we got some nice rain. Leaves are on the ground. It's a vibe. It's a vibe today. So we love that. The only thing that is not optimal right now is, for some reason, my back is killing me. My mid to lower back. I don't know what it is. It has been in a lot of pain today. So that's not good. But it's interesting. Kind of going back to what I said in the last vlog, or maybe the vlog before, one of the last couple of vlogs, that there will always be something. There will always be something that could keep you from doing what you need to do. Any day, really any day, you can find a reason to not go to the gym, to not go run, to not go whatever it is that you're doing, no matter what, no matter the day, especially, in the world that we're in today, which trains you to look for and accept excuses. We're so conditioned to look for excuses that I've found personally, I actually kind of like doing this because it's motivating to me to, on every given day, when I get in the car and I'm getting ready to go to the gym, to find a reason to not go and then go anyway. Because you know what I'm able to do every time? I'm able to find a reason. And to be perfectly honest, I'm able to find pretty good reasons. Reasons that it's if someone were to ask you, oh, did you go to the gym today? And you said, no, I had blah, 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 and then explain, they'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You obviously you didn't have to go then. But then to go anyway, I don't know. I don't know if that sounds as awesome to you guys as it does to me, but to me, that just gets me hyped up. That gets me really hyped, thinking about, looking at reasons, good reasons, not even bad ones, not even just pulling reasons out your butt, actually having good reasons to not do what you're supposed to do and then doing it anyway. That's a really powerful mindset to adopt. And ever since I've started doing that, it is interesting. You learn to identify the contrast between who you are now and who you used to be. Because I don't know about you, but my what I like to call my pre-discipline period, before I got into any fitness activities, man, I just can't believe, I can't even believe how long I went. I can't even fathom living without it now. But when I look at those times and I look now, you can just see the difference. You can see the colossal difference between the excuses you used to let rule your life and the excuses that you routinely get rid of in your mind. The routines that the excuses that you routinely decide to not accept. I think that that's a really powerful thing to do. And I would encourage you to do it if you don't already. Because I think that doing so, you'll get to see the journey you've come on mentally. Because, it's one thing to go look at pictures of you a year ago and then look at pictures of you now and see the growth and be like, oh yeah, I'm so much stronger now, or I've lost so much weight, whatever it is. It's another thing to just sit and really meditate on the idea. Just sit there and just think about mentally how far you've come in a year or 2 years or however long, pick the time period. Just for me, man, thinking about who I was before January of this year, Like, I'm not saying I was, it's not so much that I was like, oh yeah, I hate that guy. I can't believe that I was ever, no, obviously not. But it's just, it is interesting to see the difference in who I am now versus who I was in January. And the only difference was discipline, was choosing to do what I need to do regardless of how I feel, choosing to refuse excuses. That was the one thing. That was the one thing that I had to destroy. I had to set a goal, identify what I needed to do to reach that goal, and then just do it. That's another thing. I feel like people get so stuck in a planning process or researching that they never actually do anything. I've heard some people say, and I love this, something Alex Hormozi always says. He always says, you know what, in the majority of circumstances, you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You're just not doing it. And ever since I started realizing that, research or planning, that sort of thing, it can be a comfort blanket because it tricks your mind into thinking that you're doing something, thinking that you're being productive, but then you don't actually do anything. If you want to lose weight, sit and just think about it for a moment. You know what you need to do. You need to pick a diet, you need to pick a workout plan, and you need to just do it. Now, you could trick yourself into thinking, okay, now I'm going to go watch a bunch of videos on which programs are the most optimal, and I'm going to figure out what diets I can actually implement throughout the week, because if I miss a single day, it's not going to work. And by the time you go through all those and you research all these things, you've spent hours, days, maybe even weeks planning something, and you never actually start. And a lot of times you see so many different options that you just decide, oh yeah, I just decided that I couldn't find anyone that was really right for me, and then you just don't do it. And you can make that fit for anything. Make it fit for business. Make it fit for a relationship that you have. Make it fit for whatever. You identify your goal, and it's like, oh yeah, turns out to make my relationship better, I need to be a better communicator. You knew that already. Turns out for my business to make more money, I need to make more cold calls. I need to make my website better. I need to hire someone new. I need to learn this skill. You know what you need to do. And if you don't, what you actually need to do does not take very long to learn. And so once I started realizing that, it just changed everything. Excuses and fake planning will keep you from your goal while tricking you into thinking that you're still pursuing your goal. And I would encourage you to reject that and to not follow that train of thought, because it will lead you anywhere but the goal that you have set. I am starting today putting together my resolutions for 2026. Because this is a fitness channel, I'm only going to be sharing with y'all the ones that are fitness related. I'm going to make a whole video on that is going to upload January 1st at midnight. It is literally going to release the moment that the new year happens, and it's going to come out and it's going to say, I believe I'm going to title it, in 2026, I will ... And I'm going to outline all of the goals, and that's going to keep me accountable, because then at the very end of the year, I want to put out a video that is titled, in 2026, I did ... So I'm getting excited for that. I'm going to outline a lot of specifics because I don't want to keep it completely general. We're going to see. Yeah, so very excited about that. I've talked way more than I usually do before going in here. You can know I'm not stalling because it's push day, and I don't like stalling before push day. So let's go hit it. I hope that my back isn't going to completely inhibit my motions. It shouldn't. There's only a few motions where I use my back as a stabilizer. Arching it for bench might be kind of hard, but we're going to do it regardless, and I'm going to keep myself safe, make sure if I'm feeling too much pain, I'll ease back. But yeah, let's go hit it. Let's go hit push day. There's a pretty high chance that my mic is going to die at some point here soon, so be prepared for that. feels so good to like have full rest periods and be hitting this at the tempo that I want to hit it. My microphone is starting to blink red. I have a feeling I'm going to have to switch to either voiceover or just take the mic off. We'll see. Looks like the mic's still on for now. We'll hope that keeps going. We've got a little Friendsgiving get together tonight. Gonna try to just eat as much lean stuff there as possible. It's gonna be hard because there'll be a lot of dessert stuff, but I'll find a way. I think I'm gonna go up to 60s just for fun. Whew. It's gonna be tough. Haven't done this yet. Oh. Feeling it today. Feeling it good. This is the type of push day I've been missing for a while. It's so perfect. There's like hardly anybody here. Feeling good, feeling healthy, plenty of time. I'm gonna hit a few extra exercises today. That one hurt my wrist. Just having to eyeball this. I feel like what I was just doing would feel better seated, since I won't be using my back to stabilize. It was kind of hurting there. Well, That's day 16. That was probably the best lift I've had in over a month. Feels good too, especially with the last, the last push day and the last pull day being as miserable as they were. It just felt so good to not be pressed for time. I got to take my time. I got to stop and refill my water and drink three full bottles of water. I got to, do some extra sets in each one. I even got to add on, like you guys saw, a couple lifts at the end that I don't usually do. Feels nice. No headache, no nothing. Real good. Taking down my protein shake. Gonna eat a small post-workout meal when I get home. Not gonna be too much because I gotta save my calories for that Friendsgiving meal tonight. Let me know in the comments how long y'all's workouts typically last. Like, how long are you usually at the gym? Because for me, when I'm able to go at the tempo that I want to go on push day and pull day, well, today was way longer than usual. Today was almost 2 hours, I think. Almost 2 hours in the gym. Given at the, normal pace that I go, it's probably like an hour 15, maybe an hour 30 if I'm really resting in between. And then I can fit it all, into 45 minutes, maybe a half hour if I want to cut out some exercises. How long are y'all in the gym? Because there's so many different contradicting ideas on how long your workouts need to be. I don't know. I mean, I guess it partially just depends on like what your goal is, what it is that you're working towards. But like I've known guys who say your workout really shouldn't be any longer than 45 minutes. That like anything beyond that, you're just kind of overworking yourself. But then, I mean, you see some of these pro athletes who are in the gym way longer than that. Then you see some guys who manage to do great lifting at half that amount of time. I mean, I've known some guys, especially around here. I mean, some of them are just kind of naturally more lean, but I mean, they work out for like no longer than a half hour each day, 5 or 6 days a week. And they look, they're doing great. They're strong. I don't know. For me, I feel like it's different for each person. And I think that, honestly, one of the most annoying things in the world as far as the fitness industry goes is when people try to tell everyone blanket statement rules. Because everyone's body's different. Everyone's goals are different. There's so many intricacies about the human body that are so different from each other. So like for me, that's why I've gotten to the point now where, except for a few exercises, I am trying, like recently, to not focus on the number of reps so much. Like I'm trying to, obviously I'm still counting them, but like instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to hit this number and then stop, I'll do that occasionally if I want to push myself, but I'm trying to just go by feeling. Like, okay, when do my muscles feel pumped? When do they feel fatigued? When do I feel like things are happening in my body? Because after a certain amount of time lifting in the gym, and again, I'm not even through with my first year, you do start to feel it. Like you can get a feeling for that sort of thing. And for me personally, I find I like to go over an hour in the gym. Personally, I don't know. I like being there. That's the thing. And that's one missing link that I think maybe isn't true for everyone, is that, I love this. It's my favorite part of the day. Leg day, obviously, not so much. Even then, it's still fun to be in the gym. I like the community. I like the people. I like the atmosphere. I like the mentality that I'm in when I'm in the gym. I like that it's me versus me and that I get to go into the gym and go to war against myself every day. I like it. I like being there. So for me, that's part of it. I just like to be there over an hour. But also, I have found personally that and again, this is something that could totally change because I'm still like such a beginner at this, but I do like having, for compound lifts, 3 to 5 minutes in between each set. And then for non-compound lifts, having 1 minute to 1.5 minutes in between each set. Just because I found I can still work with the heavier weights and get enough reps in that it's more than just 2 or 3 reps. Like I'm working it really, really hard. Now something I guess I could try, maybe that's a video, maybe in one of the next vlogs I'll actually even try this, is just literally cutting the weight on a lot of them and doing a ton of reps for each one. But again, it's also, I mean, your goals are different, right? There are different goals for different people. Like when I first set my goal that I was going to be cutting weight this year, there were people who were telling me, you know, well, then you can't really expect to do high intensity, high weight, you know, for less volume. You need to focus on just lighter weight for higher volume. And I mean, maybe that's the conventional idea, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to go so crazy on protein intake that even though I'm in a cut, I would still be able to make gains, right? And I just kept lifting heavy. I didn't care. I was like, well, I know what I want to do, and I want to do body recomposition. I don't want to just lose weight. I want to move heavy weight and lose weight. And so far this year, I've been able to do that. You know, like each person's body is different. I personally think, and this is something that my good friend Alex told me, because I used to ask him, like I would text him all the time, well, should I do this? Should I do that? Like, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I really liked his answer. It really shaped the way that I view how I work out. He would say, you know, a lot of times, like he would give me his opinion on what he does, but then he would say, honestly, dude, do whichever one you like. Like, do whichever one's fun for you. Do whichever one gets you excited to be there each day. Because if you do, then that's just one less wall you have to jump over in like discipline. Because if you want to be there, you're not waking up sitting going, oh, can't believe I have to go to the gym. And so that's kind of what I've done over time, is I've been like, all right, well, I like moving this weight. I like shooting for this weight eventually. I like this motion. I feel it really well in my body. Each person's mind-muscle connection is different. You know, like a workout that activates that connection in my mind might be completely different to you. You know, I'm always talking about Zottman curls. Some of my friends who I've spoken to, some of them like watched the vlog or whatever, and they were like, I do not like Zottmans. Like, I don't like them at all. Like, they feel it too much in their forearms, not enough their bicep. Like, they're not even working their bicep. Or it makes them have to rock more than they're using their shoulders. Like, they just... And it's not even form stuff like, oh, well, then just drop weight. It just genuinely, their mind-muscle connection, it isn't hitting their biceps how they want it to. So I'm sitting here going, oh, Zottman curls are the greatest thing ever, talking about biceps. And for someone else, they could try it and experience nothing from it. Experience no, well, not, you know what I mean. I don't need to qualify that. But yeah, so it's so interesting how that works. It's so interesting how the human body works. And so that's why, for me, one of the reasons why I went longer today and did more exercises is that I know that my training is going to change drastically once I start doing MMA stuff, because I'm going to need to protect my body as much as possible. And that's where I could foresee there being a drop in intensity and doing more volume. There's definitely a chance that that is what's going to happen. I'm not sure, but I have a sense that's probably what's going to happen. So I'm kind of enjoying these last few push days where I can just go all out and not have to worry about preserving anything for later in the day. But yeah, you know, there are a lot of videos online about, okay, this is how you train both weightlifting and MMA and boxing or whatever. And so, you know, I am going to work on some of those. I have watched a lot of them. I've read a lot of stuff that's kind of informing the way I'm going to do this. But, you know, I really want to trailblaze this. I want to see if I can put together something that has very real results. It's not just, oh yeah, now I get to do my hobby. It's like, no, I want to compete professionally in both of these fields, and I want to be a champion in both. So if I can forge this path, if I can put this together and I can experiment and learn how to put together an elite recovery program, an elite balance between bodybuilding and MMA, I think that it would be a really cool path for people to be able to follow. So, yeah. been rambling a lot, but as you guys know, this channel is about 40% workout, 60% ramble. So hope you're chill with that. This has been day number 16, push day. Great day. Looking forward to pull day tomorrow. I am also off work tomorrow, so I'll be able to hit that how I want to. Looking forward to that. Yeah, over Thanksgiving break, there will either be pretty much no videos, or if there are videos, they're going to be very different because, again, I'll be in California, going to Knott's Berry Farm. I really do think I'm going to be able to hit lifts because I know several of those nights we're staying in bigger hotels, which are almost certainly going to have fitness rooms. Now, they are hotel fitness rooms, so it might be very limited what I'm able to do, but that'll make for some creative vlogs. So I'm going to do everything in my power. Like, I want you guys to know, I guess this will be the first time you guys will witness me traveling for a long period of time, but I want to show you guys, like, I want to be able to do everything in my power to hit lifts. And if I know we're only going to be in one hotel for, several days, then I'll hit push, pull, and legs all in the same day, all in the same workout. We're going to get it in, we're going to get it. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And then over Christmas break, we are going to be out of state for several weeks at my in-laws' house, and they have a home gym, which is pretty well furnished actually. So it's going to be nice. I'm going to be able to like set up my tripod instead of the little magnet thing. The angles are going to be just right. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. So yeah, got some cool videos on the horizon pretty soon here. Once I know beyond all shadow of a doubt that Dubai is a complete impossibility, I am going to order all of my MMA equipment so that we can make that video as well, and we can get down to training. Day 16, push day. Subscribe and be ready for pull day tomorrow. Peace!